Tonight, leaders from across the country unite for a powerful vigil in Tumbler Ridge.
But standing here together in your home, we wanted you to hear the Canadians are with you.
The community coming together to honor the lives lost in this week's mass shooting in British Columbia. 613 looking for a new home temporarily.
It's a beautiful space that people can enjoy, and it's the perfect atmosphere for this event.
The Aberdeen Pavilion is getting ready for long-term renovations. One more weekend of winter fun.
Literally the best day we could have picked to come to Winterlude.
Families across the capital region making the most of Winterlude before it wraps up for another year. And sharing the love.
Came all the way from Montreal for this.
He basically said, I definitely would do that, so I booked it pretty much right away.
We have a look at the Valentine's Day celebrations across the capital. Good evening. Austin is away this weekend. We begin with the final weekend of Winterlude, and many are making the most of it before the ice sculptures melt and the slides go quiet, from skating to snow tubing. But there's still plenty of fun left to do right throughout this long weekend. CTV's Josh Moreno now joins us with more. Josh, how are people squeezing in one last bit of winter fun?
Yeah, Kim, this is the last call for winter fun, with the festival wrapping up Family Day. Today I was out at Snowflake Kingdom, where families were not wasting a second. From tubing hills to giant snow sculptures, it was all about one more run, photo, and hot chocolate before it's all over. For Sergio Gentile, the drive from Montreal was worth it to share a special milestone with his family.
It's my wife's birthday, and we figured a nice getaway to go to Ottawa and skate with the kids on the canal and take part in Winterlude.
It's their first time at Snowflake Kingdom, one of Winterlude's largest draws for tourists.
Beautiful, a lot of stuff, free coffee, free hot chocolate, a lot of stuff for the kids to do. Amazing, nothing to complain about. Weather's amazing.
With the milder temperatures and lots of sunshine, the Gentiles and other families say they couldn't have picked a better time to enjoy Winterlude's final weekend.
We have had the best time. Perfect weather. The snow slides here are excellent. Everything is so much fun.
Literally the best day we could have picked to come to Winterlude. It's mild, there's tons of families, lots to do. It's great.
While it's the festival's last hurrah of the season, organizers are still expecting a big turnout.
This year is a huge success, and we're super, super proud of what it is that we've been able to offer the local residents in Ottawa and Gatineau, but we also know that there's lots of tourists that come and participate and enjoy Winterlude year after year.
Whether it's sliding down the mountain at Snowflake Kingdom, a trip to see the ice sculptures at Confederation Park, or a trek down the skateway, according to organizers, there's still lots for visitors to enjoy.
This weekend, we also have Igloo Fest that's happening over at Zibby, and that's where you can really get into the groove with the electronic dance music. I'm hearing that they have a couple of sold-out evenings, but you can still check and see if they have some tickets available.
And for Gentile, perhaps a new family tradition.
I would. Definitely will come back, sure.
And if you missed out on Winterlude this season, don't worry, because you have until Monday to squeeze in some final activities. Kim?
Yeah, Josh, you're out and about today. What did you like the best about Winterlude?
Always fun going to Snowflake Kingdom, but had to be the weather today. Nice and warm for to wrap up the winter festivities.
Absolutely gorgeous day here in the capital. CTV's Josh Moran reporting live for us. Thank you very much. And CTV Ottawa has extended coverage of this year's Winterlude here in the capital region. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The Aberdeen Pavilion is getting ready for a facelift in the coming months. Now, during renovations, it will close for up to 2 years, and that means events taking place inside the National Historic Site will need to find new spaces. CTV's Kimberly Johnson joins us now in studio after speaking with those affected at 613 Flea.
Kimberly, 613 Flea is a large vintage and art show that has taken place inside and around the pavilion for more than a decade. And everyone I spoke with today say they understand the need to renovate the 133-year-old building. But moving the popular large-scale event is not going to be easy. As the Aberdeen Pavilion gears up to temporarily shut its doors, Jesse Lockyer says it will be sad when it does.
It's a beautiful space that, people can enjoy, and it's the perfect atmosphere for this event.
The vendor has been selling his vintage items under the dome of the historic building for 2 years during 613 Flea.
I think we're all going to have a little tears in our eyes, but hopefully it'll come back a little stronger.
The long-term upgrades are set to start in the spring and expected to last until 2028. That means 613 Flea will need to temporarily find a new home.
We've been told at this point that we can move to the horticulture building, but that's only about 40% of the size of this building.
The event's market manager says the options are being reviewed, but moving to a new space will be a challenge. Up to 150 vendors and more than 5,000 visitors attend the bi-weekly event.
We've got some fabulous artisans here, people in the circular community that do vintage clothing and antiques, and fabulous food vendors, and we'd really like to, be able to continue to run it, in its present form.
City officials say there's no official price tag for the project yet, and a search for the contractor to perform the work is underway. The current restoration includes a new roof, work on the wood heritage windows and doors, and a new concrete floor, just to name a few.
The reality is that this is the only exhibition space that's still in existence like this since the 19th century. So it's important that we protect this wonderful heritage building, a real jewel in our city.
Vendors say they understand the work needs to be done and hopes a space can be found.
I mean, we love as artists to sell with the vintage sellers, and I hope that it can still be mixed like that, but I think we probably won't be all selling at the same time. There's not too many venues that size around us.
The Aberdeen Pavilion was built in 1893 before closing in 1987 and was renovated to reopen to the public in 1992. Kimberly?
CTV's Kimberly Johnson reporting live for us tonight. Thank you very much. And you can scan their QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on the upcoming long-term Aberdeen Pavilion closures for renovations. All right, we'll take our first check of the weather. Gorgeous day we had here in the capital. Lots of sunshine if you're out and about. And again, wonderful weather for those enjoying Winterlude. We'll look at what's happening right now. Clear conditions will continue on into the evening, sitting at -2 right now. Milder temperatures as well for those who are enjoying it. Overnight low, we're looking at -17, but clear here for the Ottawa area. Same thing for Cornwall. A bit more cloud cover for the rest of the Seaway. -13 for Brockville, -10 for Kingston, -8 for the Trenton area, -16 and clear conditions for Gatineau. Same thing for Petawawa. Looking at -13 for Kemptville, -14 for Montreal. As for tomorrow's highs, we've got -6 here for the Ottawa area. Lots of sunshine we're looking at. And again, we'll see some sunshine as well with some mixed sun and cloud for Gatineau. They're sitting at -5. The community of Tumbler Ridge came together last night to grieve the lives lost in Tuesday's mass shooting in a powerful and solemn vigil. The emotional event began with attendees singing the national anthem, some holding lanterns, candles, and photos of the 8 people who died. The tragedy brought together the Prime Minister, opposition leaders, and the Governor General, extending support to the people of Tumbler Ridge.
I, the leader of the opposition, the leader of all the federal parties, wanted you to hear, not from Ottawa, not through a screen, but standing here together in your home, we wanted you to hear the Canadians are with you, and we will always be with you.
We are a nation with a broken heart, but we are also a nation with open arms. And those arms wrap all of the people of Tumbler Ridge in love. We are all today Tumbler Ridge strong.
6 people were killed at the local secondary school, 5 of them young students. The mother and 11-year-old stepbrother of the shooter were found dead in their home. And investigators are digging into the online presence of the Tumbler Ridge shooter. CTV's Penny Daflos has more on the investigation and what decades of research tells us about school shooters.
Teens live a big part of their lives online and generally enmesh with technology. Jesse Van Rootselaar was no different.
A specialized team of investigators are also completing a thorough assessment of the suspect's online activity and digital footprint.
That includes the gaming platform Roblox. The company has now removed this simulation designed to be a shopping mall massacre created by Van Rootselaar. It was captured by Roblox Watchdog. The platform is extremely popular with kids, but also widely criticized for not doing enough to ensure child safety.
The effect of video games on real-world violence is minuscule.
With school shootings so prevalent in the U.S., there's been considerable research on the topic and potential warning signs.
Significant changes in a child's behavior. One of the more important factors that we see for school shooters is a combination of having significant social problems in the school or around in the area, as well as having a really deep vested interest in violence or previous shootings.
Students who planned or carried out recent attacks in the U.S. continue to support that finding.
He had an obsession with the Columbine shooting.
Most of Van Rootselaar's online accounts have now been removed. Several posts still visible on her mom's social media accounts depict a family interest in target practice and hunting, including videos Jennifer Jacobs shared online. Tracing that digital footprint isn't easy. Images and rumors about Rootselaar, who typically went by Jesse Strang, have been flying across the globe from a variety of sources, including anti-trans accounts overseas.
Many false flags and false trails on the internet, a lot of social media that is coming out that is factually inaccurate, a lot of allegations, a lot of photos pertaining to be the suspect, videos, etc., that are not.
As they do their work, this expert predicts there will be no simple answer.
Whenever shooters are looked at, there's complicated, multiple, sometimes even generational reasons why these things happen.
Penny Dafflaw, CTV News, Vancouver.
And stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of the Tumbler Ridge mass shooting. For updates on radio, tune into News Talk 580 CFRA and CTV News channel at any hour. Iranians around the world today held a day of action to take a stand against the Iranian government. Thousands were gunned down by government forces during countrywide protests in January. And as CTV's Kamal Karmali tells us, today's rally in Toronto saw thousands take to the streets to remember those who were killed and push for an end to Iran's regime.
More than 200,000 people expected here at this rally, according to Toronto police, shutting down a main corridor in Canada's biggest city for most of the day. The rally to keep the anti-government movement in Iran going. The Iranian government crushed one of the biggest protest movements across Iran in decades by executing mass killings in early January. According to international human rights groups, the number of dead still being counted. Authorities in the country, according to activists, have kept a sustained campaign of repression with night raids, arbitrary arrests, and secret detention of tens of thousands of protesters.
We are looking at all the people they killed. The Islamic regime killed all of these people. This is crazy.
Even me, my family, my friend, they were in danger. But the things I'm proud of them, that they don't scare. They don't scare at all. We are talking still, we are in touch still, and they're saying that we are not scared from this Islamic regime.
This comes as tensions continue to grow between Iran and other countries. The U.S. has sent 2 aircraft carriers to increase its naval presence near Iran, with U.S. President Donald Trump calling for a regime change in Iran. U.S. and Iranian officials held indirect talks in Oman, but no breakthrough agreement reached yet. A second round of talks expected in Geneva next week, but for these Iranians here in Toronto, just hoping for peace for their families back home. Kamal Karamali, CTV News, Toronto.
It's a swift move following a horrific incident that the community is still coming to terms with. The Ottawa-Carleton District School Board is now suspending all school-organized ski trips involving chairlifts. It comes as a 13-year-old girl suffered serious injuries following an incident this week at Centre Vorlage in Western Quebec. CTV's Natalie Van Roy joins us now live in studio with the latest. Natalie.
Kimberly, as the board investigates the accident, the ski resort will remain closed for now, and all the school trips suspended, as well as the board works to figure out what exactly happened. On February 11th, the student was on a school trip at the ski hill near Wakefield, Quebec, when her clothing got caught on a ski lift as she tried to get off the chairlift. Investigators say the clothing was caught into the chair, and at one point she was hanging from the chairlift. First responders and 2 doctors performed CPR on the girl, and she was transported to a hospital in Wakefield, then to CHEO in Ottawa. In a statement to CTV News, the OCDSB says, "We remain deeply affected by the situation involving the young skier. Our most sincere thoughts are with the young girl, her family, and all those affected. We believe it is important to take the necessary time to be present for our employees and provide them with all the support needed during this difficult period. In the meantime, we continue our collaboration with the authorities." Now, as the incident is still under investigation, Centre Vorlage will remain closed today and Sunday. Kimberly.
CTV's Natalie Van Weer reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Natalie. Ontario Provincial Police has issued an impaired driving charge to a resident of Deep River after a single vehicle crash. On February 7th, OPP responded to a report of a vehicle that ended up into the ditch in the town of Laurentian Hills. Police located the vehicle and the driver on Highway 17. So as a result, 35-year-old Shaheen LaRoche of Deep River has been charged with 2 counts of operation while impaired and operating a motor vehicle without insurance. LaRoche is expected to appear in a Pembroke court on March 3rd. And in Pembroke, on February 8th, OPP responded to a report of a 2-vehicle collision involving a vehicle that failed to remain on scene. Now, police later located the vehicle and the driver in a parking lot at the Pembroke Marina. 33-year-old Christelle Chartrand is facing multiple charges, including theft of a motor vehicle, driving while under suspension, driving a motor vehicle, performing stunts. Chartrand is also expected to appear in a Pembroke court on March the 3rd. Ottawa firefighters treated a dog for smoke inhalation following a house fire in Manotick on Friday. Fire crews responded to a single-family home on Manotick Main Street just after 3:10 yesterday afternoon. Ottawa Fire Services posted this photo to social media today, saying firefighters used an animal oxygen kit to treat the dog immediately after arriving on scene. Now, paramedics were also on scene to assess the homeowner. The fire was under control just after 4 p.m., and after the successful treatment, the dog was returned to its owner. Well, it's Valentine's Day, this February 14th, and every year, this day celebrates love, appreciation, and affection. And events were taking place all across Ottawa to mark the occasion. CTV's Camille Wilson toured the city today and is back in studio for a look at the recap of all the love. Camille.
Kimberly, I can tell you love is in the air today. It's Valentine's Day, or some may call it Love Day, one of the busiest days of the year, especially when it falls on a Saturday. People are out today celebrating Valentine's, Galentines, or just a good time with their family and friends. Needless to say, love is being spread. Heart-shaped pizzas are on the menu for these couples.
My friends coming over for the weekend and also having a double date.
Vittoria Lenzani and Kevin Minotti are on a road trip from Montreal celebrating Valentine's Day with double the love at the Grand Pizzeria in Westboro.
Truly, we're having lunch with friends.
We saw this cute place and we said, why not?
With rose petals on the table, a flower jar, and chocolate, the gondolas provide an intimate setting for couples enjoying scenic views overlooking the Ottawa River.
Saturday is one of our busier days, so it's our first Valentine's Day, so we're booked up, so we can't be happier about that.
He basically said, I definitely would do that. So I booked it pretty much right away, and here we are, and enjoying every minute of it.
But for those celebrating Galentine's Day, a $1 breakfast date at IKEA.
We came for Galentine's Day. Actually, my mother-in-law invited us, and then we said yes, obviously, because who can refuse $1 breakfast?
I saw it on the news, $1 breakfast, and so I thought, why not go? We got 4 instead of 3.
Pancakes, eggs, and hash browns made with love, with proceeds going to the Breakfast Club of Canada.
We really want to encourage accessibility for the many. So this is something that we think it's great for the community, great for our customers.
Others shared the love with family in the Byward Market.
We saw the free activities on Facebook at the market, and we decorated some snow. We watched them carve the wood sculptures.
Yeah.
Now we're taking the wagon.
Party on.
And for some of these lovebirds, they've got a day filled.
We're going touring, I think. We're going to do a little bit of driving and sightseeing, and so taking the beautiful weather and the scenery and get around Ottawa. We're going to go skating.
Yeah, maybe some skating on the canal.
While many celebrated Valentine's today, we know there's many that didn't for many reasons. However, the day was spent. I could say it was a beautiful day to just be outside, enjoying the beautiful weather, and to be outside with family and friends. Kimberly.
Yeah, it was a lovely day to be out and about and spread the love.
That's right.
CTV's Camille Wilson live for us tonight. Thank you very much.
Gaining momentum with the postseason right around the corner, and momentum is paramount.
All right, coming up, a battle of two of the top teams in the Ontario Hockey League. We recap the 67s and Rangers game over at TD Place Arena. And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Clear conditions. Last bit of the sunset left going on, -2 degrees in the capital. Well, here's a reminder of what will be open and closed in Ottawa on Family Day. The Winterlude Snow Bus will be running for free, operating between Winterlude sites in Ottawa and Gatineau. Most museums will also be open on Monday. The Rideau Centre and Tanger outlets will be open. All other malls will be closed. Some grocery stores will be open. LCBO and beer store locations will be closed. And there will be no garbage or recycling collection on Monday. It will be delayed by a day next week. All right, we'll take another look at what's happening weather-wise here in the capital. A lot of people out and about enjoying the canal there behind me. Again, it was a great day if you were out. So taking a look at all those people, again, thousands enjoying the canal, and again, a milder day for people enjoying it as well. So again, looks like there may not be much time to enjoy the canal, so get out if you can do it. Here's a look at what's happening through our satellite radar. We do have some cloud cover that's lingering in the area. Overall in the Ottawa area, we're enjoying clear conditions, but we do have some cloud cover lingering in other parts of the region. We're looking at 0 out in St. John's with some overcast skies. Clear conditions towards Charlottetown. They've got -6, -3 in Fredericton. Same thing for Halifax. -9 in Quebec City. Here in Ottawa, we're still sitting at -2, +1 in Toronto, +3. Lots of sunshine in the Windsor area. We're looking at -2 for Sudbury, -3 in Timmins, -1 in Thunder Bay, -4 with some cloud cover for the Winnipeg area. Toward the prairies, again, we're looking at milder temperatures as well on the plus side. 1 in Regina, 2 in Saskatoon, 3 for Calgary, 4 for Edmonton, -21 for the Yellowknife area, much cooler up there. And we're looking at 7 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud for those toward the Vancouver area. We'll take a look at what's happening here across our region, closer towards home. Clear conditions for the next little bit. Tonight, we're looking at an overnight low with clear conditions of -16, -6 for our high tomorrow. Same thing towards the Ottawa Valley, -16 in the overnight hours, mix of sun and cloud, mainly sunny though for tomorrow, -5 should be the high. We're looking at -17 with some overcast skies in the Seaway, -5 with sunshine for your Sunday. Now here's a look at what's happening for the next 7 days ahead. Again, Sunday on Sunday, -6 the high for the Ottawa area. Family Day, we could see some showers or some snow flurries coming in. -1 will be the high. So it could be that mix of rain and slush that we have to deal with. +6 on Tuesday. Look at that. And looking at 0 with the chance of some flurries on Wednesday. Well, the Ottawa 67s are back on the ice this afternoon, facing off with the Kitchener Rangers.
Here's Edwards. Edwards with it. Comes back near point for Campbell. His wrister, Fedorov makes the save. They score!
Oh, and a heartbreaker on this Valentine's Day for the Barber Poles, dropping to the Rangers at TD Place Arena by a score of 2-0. Now, both of those Ranger goals coming late in the third period. The 67s, they're back on ice on Monday for a Family Day matinee to face off against the Barrie Colts. Puck drop is set for 3 o'clock. Canadian figure skating fans celebrating a remarkable finish in the men's singles event with the highest placing at the Olympics in more than a decade. Steven Gogolov is quickly gaining some new fans, and it comes as spectators watch one of the biggest upsets in the sport that we've ever seen. CTV's Heather Butts reports from Milan.
In one of the most highlighted events of the Games, all eyes were on American Ilya Malinin. A heavy favorite, he was expected to pack in 7 quadruple jumps in the men's free skate, but his routine sent him crashing to the ice twice in a stunning and dramatic men's final that left fans in shock.
We cried.
The reigning world champion had been unbeaten for more than 2 years. Kazakhstan's Mikhail Shaidorov topped the podium in what's being called one of Olympic figure skating's biggest upsets.
It was a surprise. We were bummed.
It's a big stage, and, you know, sometimes you can't do your best all the time, and
he'll come back.
The unraveling of the performance surprising Canada's Stephen Gogolov, who impressed the audience with his best career performance, placing 5th overall in a promising Olympic debut.
I don't really process it yet, but...
It hasn't set in for you yet?
Oh, no, not yet.
His 5th place finish was the best by a Canadian men's skater since Patrick Chan won silver at the 2014 Sochi Games.
It was a very, very amazing experience, and I think the way I performed yesterday was the best I performed in actually my whole career.
The 21-year-old admits he had modest expectations. Now he couldn't be happier with a result that proves what he is capable of.
What has your first Olympic Games been like overall?
It's been a very fun experience, meeting new people.
The Olympian still getting used to the spotlight, surprised when fans approach him in public, though gracious with his time.
I think it's very special and something new to me because I feel like people around here are much bigger fans of figure skating. Or maybe it's just Olympic Games.
Stephen Gogolov is expected to compete for Canada again at the World Championships in Prague in March. For now, he's sticking around Italy to soak in the excitement of his first Olympics. Heather Butts, CTV News, Milan, Italy.
You know, Valentine's and Mother's Day and all these heavier dates are very important for our business.
Well, after the break, with the rising cost of living, many are still making room for love in their budgets for Valentine's Day.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
There are reports that U.S. President Trump is considering a plan to scale back tariffs on steel and aluminum. This comes amid sagging poll numbers and a growing anger over rising prices. CTV's Washington Bureau Chief Joy Malbon explains.
Every chance he gets, the U.S. president trumpets his tariffs.
The economy is doing unbelievable. We right now have the hottest country anywhere in the world.
But he's battling the cost of living crisis in America and low approval ratings before the midterm elections. The Financial Times reporting the Trump administration may be having a rethink about those steep steel and aluminum tariffs that could affect Canada.
I don't think it's great reporting that we saw today. If anything is done, I think it would be sort of clarification on some incidental objects. But again, that's going to be the president's decision.
Canadian metals were slapped with a 50% tariff early this year, justified as a national security crisis. Canada retaliated, but this tit-for-tat tariff blitz has led to higher costs for consumers, paying more for groceries, electronics, cans, and cars. The American Nonpartisan Tax Foundation reports that tariffs will cost the average U.S. household $1,300 more in 2026.
There's definitely pressure because it is hitting different markets, and we're seeing that in the auto sector as well. Like Ford's earnings last week were dismal. So it's a situation where tariffs don't always work.
Even if the president is considering rolling back tariffs on steel and aluminum, here's what he posted just 2 days ago. Canada has taken advantage of the United States on trade for many years. They are among the worst in the world to deal with.
U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer said there likely won't be a rollback of the tariffs, more of a clarification or possible exemption on items like refrigerators and washers. But then again, it's the president's call. Joy Malbon, CTV News, Washington.
United States lawmakers expressed support for the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement during a committee hearing this week as President Trump floats the idea of ending the critical trade pact.
Now, I think what will be the deciding factor in all of this, of course, will be if and when the Supreme Court eventually makes its ruling on Donald Trump's tariffs. I think that will give a lot of power and negotiating power back to Congress but also I think it will move Donald Trump away from these tariffs, which many believe to be debilitating.
You think of
both Democrat and Republican lawmakers backed the trade pact during the Senate hearing. Kuzma is up for mandatory review this year, but Trump has indicated he's in no rush to sign on for a 16-year extension, calling it irrelevant. Meantime, Dominic LeBlanc, the minister in charge of Canada-U.S. trade, is leading a large delegation to Mexico as the federal government looks to diversify its trade links. LeBlanc will be in Mexico from Sunday to Friday with hundreds of delegates representing Canadian businesses, industry associations, and partners from across the country. Now, the mission's goal is to explore new opportunities with Mexico while strengthening commercial ties, and that's according to a news release from LeBlanc. A law enforcement operation in Arizona linked to Nancy Guthrie's disappearance took place last night as a residence near her home. According to the local sheriff's department, more than a dozen vehicles were spotted at the scene.
Another development yesterday was the announcement by the sheriff's office that they had found DNA at Nancy Guthrie's residence, not of Nancy Guthrie and not of any known individual connected to Nancy.
It has been nearly 2 weeks since the 84-year-old has gone missing. Now, it's believed that Guthrie was kidnapped from her home and being held for ransom. A man and a woman are being held in questions about their connection to the case. Law enforcement have also detained a vehicle and its driver. The U.S. military says it has struck a vessel in the Caribbean, killing 3 people. The military says in a social media post that the vessel was engaged in narco-trafficking operations. The U.S. resumed boat strikes in late January after largely backing off on attacking boats in the region following the January 3rd arrest and removal of then-President Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela. Drone strikes have killed 1 person in Ukraine and another in Russia ahead of new U.S. brokered peace talks. Ukrainian officials say a Russian drone hit a residential building in Odessa and killed an older woman. The talks come as fighting continues on the front line, with Russia bombing Ukrainian cities and the power grid, and Ukraine launching long-range drone attacks inside Russia. Another round of discussions between envoys from Russia and Ukraine is set for next week in Geneva. Meantime, in Gaza, Doctors Without Borders has suspended some operations at one of its largest functioning hospitals after patients and staff say they witnessed armed, masked men in parts of the compound. The aid group says all non-critical medical operations at Nasser Hospital are canceled due to security breaches, which pose serious threats to teams and patients. Israel has struck hospitals on repeated occasions, accusing Hamas of operating in and around them. Well, flower and chocolate shops are seeing an influx of customers as lovers do their last-minute Valentine's Day shopping. And even with the rising cost of living, many are still making room in their budget for that someone special. CTV's Tyler Barrow reports.
Love is in the air for McHaley Paperny and his girlfriend Cam. The two started dating in December, and they plan to enjoy Valentine's Day.
We're going to go to Banff. We're going to go probably skating at Lake Louise.
Chocolate will also be part of their day. And here at Kochu Chocolatier, it is preparing for its busiest Valentine's. People are head over heels for their sweets, as sales will triple a normal weekend.
People were purchasing Valentine's items mid to late January. They started to go.
Wild Orchid expects to complete upwards of 300 orders for the special day. Orders ranging in price from $30 to a few hundred.
You know, Valentine's and Mother's Day and all these heavier dates are very important for our business.
Valentine's week orders will be over 4 times an average week for the store, and those numbers fairly in line with the province. According to Moneris data, Alberta Florist saw an over 500% increase in total spending over the previous week in 2025, as restaurant spending was up 35%, while total Valentine's Day spending increased by 53%. That increase above the national average of 46%.
Albertans love Valentine's Day. There's no question as an event goes, it gets people out shopping.
Last year's Valentine's Day fell on a Friday, helping boost spending. And this year, it's on a Saturday, which McCormick expects people again will spend on the experience, even with many facing economic challenges.
If Valentine's Day falls under the category of an experience, and let's be honest, it is an experience. It's the experience of spending time with your loved one.
Which some are keen on.
Spend a bit of money there and
I don't know, it's kind of nice just to show some love.
Others are giving in.
Quite frankly, I feel pressured by my wife to spend more on Valentine's Day.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
It's very, feeling-wise, it really grabs you.
Well, in case you missed it this week, we're marking Valentine's Day with Heartbeats. We revisit the story of how veterans are creating music from their own heartbeats.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
It's now time to check in with our iHeartRadio Weekender, Tanea Taylor. Tanea.
Spend the family day long weekend at the Canada Agriculture and Food Museum. This one features lots for the smaller kiddos, like arts and crafts, story time, and even family movie times throughout the weekend, plus animal interaction opportunities like groom a calf. I want to check this one out myself so bad. Also great for the family this weekend, Disney on Ice is in town at Canadian Tire Centre. Hit the road with Mickey Mouse and his pals for the Road Trip Adventure Show. Multiple showings to choose from between now and tomorrow afternoon. If you want to make some long-lasting memories with the kids, make sure you check it out. As usual, lots more happening around the capital this weekend. For the full list and all the details, check ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, my name's Tanea Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Well, in case you missed it this week, the heart is more than just a muscle. It's also a symbol of love, memory, and legacy. As we revisit the story of veterans at Pearly Health, we take another look at how they're creating unique songs using their heartbeat to share something special for their families. CTV's Peter Sperling has more.
Clear sound. I'm just going to record it.
Gail Fougere is creating music from her heart, literally.
I get all teary just thinking about it.
Recording her heartbeat, sounds used as the starting point in creating a unique song.
It's very, feeling-wise, it really grabs you, I think.
Planning to share it with her daughter one day.
I think she'll probably get the final product when I'm gone. I've decided I'm going to do it for her because you can put little things on those that will bring happy memories.
It's part of a project at Pearly Health called Rhythms of Remembrance. Veterans combining their heartbeats with music, voice, personal stories to create digital keepsakes.
It's really unique.
Once heartbeats are recorded, residents work with music therapists to create something special.
We're going to create a musical composition using a song of the resident's choice, and some residents are composing their own song and maybe offering like words that they want to share with their loved ones.
James Gafer has mostly finished his song, but he's not sharing it yet. It's a surprise for his wife.
It's been kind of fun.
Here's a sample of what a finished song sounds like. The program is funded by the Government of Ontario.
We would like to create a little bit of a legacy of our veterans.
Allow residents the chance to connect to family, deepen connections to themselves and their past, and kind of engage in building a legacy that they can share through music.
Music shared from the heart. Peter Sperling, CTV News.
All right, coming up, it's another medal for Canada. Natalie Van Roy joins us at the desk when we come back to check in on today's Olympic results and more of what you need to know.
Far side pass, and it's an early shot. He scores!
In tonight's Big Picture, performers adorned in feathers and glitter swept across the stage in Spain as Gran Canaria marked its 50th anniversary of its famed Carnival Queen competition. The winner wore an oversized costume fitted with 49 golden roses, a tribute to all the previous queens. Now, the annual show is a centerpiece of the island's 6-week carnival, which draws thousands with music, parades, and flamboyant designs. All right, now to some other stories you need to know right now. CTV's Natalie Van Roy joins us here at the desk with more of what we need to know. Natalie.
Thanks, Kimberly. Well, Family Day is around the corner, and there's plenty of activities to take in throughout the nation's capital. This Monday, you can enjoy the Mayor's Family Day skating party at the City Hall Rink of Dreams. The event is happening from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Bring your skates and helmets and enjoy skating while listening to music from a live DJ. Skate rentals are also available on site, and there will be a free family fitness class and hot chocolate. Canadian speed skater Laurent Debroy won the bronze medal in the 500-meter long track speed skating event at the Olympics. Debroy broke the Olympic record with his time just to have it broken by two other skaters, pushing him to a third-place finish. Now, this is the country's 6th Olympic medal all-time in the men's long track 500-meter. And Canada has advanced to the Olympic women's hockey semifinals with a 5-1 win over Germany. The quarterfinal victory featured the return of captain Marie-Philippe Poulin to the lineup after missing 2 games with a right knee injury. Now, Team Canada will face the winner of Finland versus Switzerland in the semifinals.
The rule states that a rock can be removed if an official finds you in violation.
World Curling has weighed in after a verbal dispute between Canada and Sweden's men's curling teams at the Olympics. World Curling said it spoke with Canadian officials to issue a verbal warning to the Canadian men's team regarding the language used by Canadian Mark Kennedy during the game. The statement from World Curling says there were no violations recorded.
And you have to have your best players in. Come on, Dre!
Andre DeGrasse with a little room service.
Let's go!
Canada's Andre DeGrasse, known for his speed, was among those showing off a different skill set at the NBA All-Star Weekend in Los Angeles last night. The 7-time Olympic medalist on the All-Star celebrity team. An actor and fellow Canadian, Simu Liu, was also on the team. Unfortunately, they lost 65-58 to the team coached by the Milwaukee Bucks.
Well, I love the NBA All-Star Weekend when everyone comes out. Like, the dunk competition is probably my favorite thing to watch. Have you ever watched that before?
You know what? I actually haven't watched it, so tell me how that all works out.
Oh my God, it's so exciting when you see the players make really exciting like dunks. It's like, oh my goodness, and now the crowd goes crazy. Again, it's good times having in LA watching that, especially when you have the All-Stars.
Well, I would love to go to LA.
Yeah, exactly. All right, when we come back, we'll take a look at this sweet site for Valentine's Day. Look at that. Interesting stuff. We'll tell you about that when we come back. And here's another live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. Clear conditions. We're still sitting at -2 here in Ottawa.
Tonight, taking to the streets in support of protests in Iran.
We are here to support our people to amplify their voice.
What a sea of demonstrators are demanding, marching in cities across the country. Later on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Well, here's a recap of the top local stories we're following right now.
We love, as artists, to sell with the vintage sellers, and I hope that it can still be mixed like that.
The Aberdeen Pavilion is getting ready for long-term renovations. 613 Flea will need to look for a new temporary home. Families across the capital region are making the most of this long weekend before Winterlude wraps up this year.
He basically said, I definitely would do that, so I booked it pretty much right away.
And sharing the love on Valentine's Day. We take a look at how people celebrated across the capital. And now for our final check on your wake-up weather, we'll take a look at your 7-day forecast as well. -17, clear conditions on your Sunday morning. Again, we're enjoying a beautiful long weekend here in the capital. -6 sunny conditions that we're looking at tomorrow. And then on Monday, we could see a mix of that rain snow happening. -1 will be the high. And then looking toward the rest of the week, we have some warmer conditions, milder conditions on Tuesday, +6 we could see with some cloud cover. And then some possible flurries on Wednesday sitting at 0. All right, now it's time to check in to see what our news team will be working on tonight. Natalie, what have you got for us?
Thanks, Kimberly. Well, tonight we check in on the highlights of the Ottawa Black Bears game as the pro lacrosse team gets ready to take on Rochester at 7 p.m. Also ahead, more on the Global Day of Action as thousands took to the streets in Montreal and Toronto, as well as cities around the world in support of the anti-government demonstrations in Iran. Now more on how protesters are calling for a regime change in the Middle Eastern country. You can get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca. And join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
Thank you, Natalie. All right, well, it is Valentine's Day here and around the world.
And love was in the air and on the menu for the lionesses at the Milwaukee County Zoo. The animals were treated to a roaring good Valentine's Day surprise. Zoo staff prepared heart-shaped treats that were quickly eaten up, and those heart-shaped snacks marking Valentine's Day yesterday.
Looks like they're really enjoying it.
Yeah, look at that.
My goodness, gobbling it all up. And I also love a good Valentine's Day.
I know. I was thinking about that this year. It's just so much fun to get together with your friends and have some champagne, whatever you want to do for Valentine's Day.
All your partners too, yeah. Good stuff. Natalie's back at 11:30 to wrap up today's news.